Welcome, dear friends, to the Military Reporter channel. As always, we continue to make a selection of what is happening on the front line. The assault on Ukrainian positions was successful. Russian soldiers identified the location of the Ukrainian soldiers with the help of a reconnaissance drone and came out in full force to the combat positions. The fighting took place near Chasov Yar.
Противник такие шевроны таскает.
Destruction of an Ukrainian armed forces armored vehicle, communications antenna and repeater. The UAV crew of the 33rd Motorized Rifle Regiment, 20th Division, 8th Guards All-Volunteer Army detected an Ukrainian armed forces armored vehicle, a communications antenna and an enemy repeater. Thanks to skillful FPV drone flights, all targets were destroyed and cannot be recovered. Robotic complex, Tarik, in an attack flamethrower burns a stronghold of Ukrainian soldiers. A combat drone smashes an enemy stronghold, saving the lives of Russian soldiers during an offensive on the Uglodarskia highway. First-person assault and capture of 2 Ukrainian soldiers in the Pokrovsky direction.
Уходи!
Давай к ним туда! Туда!
Уходи! К нам! К нам!
Второй выходит!
Пошел!
Бегом!
Лёг, вот сюда, лёг!
Нету больше никого!
Второй!
Второй, бегом! Все, выходи
Вылазь!
туда! К спецназу выходи!
Сюда ложись!
The chase of a Ukrainian BTR-4E and its destruction by FPV drones in the Kupiansk direction. Dear friends, if the video is interesting to you, support it with a like and subscribe to the channel to not miss new releases. And to be informed, click on the bell. Thank you for watching and we will continue. Destruction of an Ukrainian Armed Forces airborne infantry fighting unit by a guided missile of the Russian Armed Forces near Kirovsk in the Krasnolimansk direction. The Kh-39 LMUR missile was fired from a Ka-52 attack helicopter at the location of Ukrainian soldiers. Exclusive from the Artyomovsk direction. A daring operation of the Russian Armed Forces. Fighters blew up a pipe with the Vasushniks who refused to surrender. The details of the story were shared by the deputy commander of the Detachment for Military and Political Work with the call sign Cherks. The Ukrainian armed forces were in a pipe and from there, among other things, they were jamming the birds of the Russian fighters. The Ukrainian soldiers were offered to surrender 6 times, but they did not agree. Then a fighter with the call sign Deker threw an anti-tank mine inside, after which the military stormed the position. As a result, 16 Ukrainian military personnel were eliminated. The operation was led by the commander of the detachment with the call sign Khan, who was awarded 3 Orders of Courage. The footage was shot in the summer of 2024. Summary from the front for April 21, 2025. The Easter truce is over, with the first rays of sunshine in Kyiv and the region. The alarm was announced. The Russian Defense Ministry reports. Last night the AFU fired 48 UAVs, including an attack on Crimea, 444 artillery attacks on our positions and 900 strikes by quadricopter drones. Border regions, Bryansk, Kursk, Belgorod regions, are under fire again. 12 shelling, 33 UAV attacks, 7 ammunition drops. There are dead and wounded among civilians. Russian Foreign Ministry. Kyiv violated the ceasefire using HIMARS. The enemy is in panic. Their channels are trumpeting that Russia has pulled up reserves during the ceasefire and is preparing an offensive. They also published footage of the preparation of the crossing of the river Zarabets. Engineering units are working for results. Ours are not giving up their positions. It's time for Kyiv to realize, the longer they stall, the harder the outcome will be.
Бросайте оружие, поднимите руки!
Ukrainian servicemen continue to surrender in the Zaporizhia direction. 3 Ukrainian armed forces servicemen using a chatbot contacted one of the Russian units near Malyi Sherbakov with a request to surrender.
Лечь на землю! Быстро лечь на землю!
Так, пошли, остальные здесь остаются. Пойдем.
Footage shows Abrams tanks and Bradley armored personnel carriers on fire. 56th Regiment of the Russian airborne troops massively burns NATO armored vehicles on the Kursk front. Half-year results. Crimean paratroopers for 6 months destroyed a lot of military equipment, which the enemy throws in attacks and counterattacks in the Kursk border area. In the video, a selection of strikes by modern drones, Prince Vandal, controlled by fiber optics. Images of objective control of the destruction by UAV operators of the 200 separate motorized rifle brigade of the South Group of the Ukrainian Armed Forces mortar position near the village of Aliek-Sivo-Drushkovka. soldiers of the 16th Separate Guards Special Forces Brigade destroyed an enemy robotic platform near Novojegorovka settlement, Svatovsky Municipal District. A German BMP Martyr, a Swedish BMP PBV-302, and an American armored vehicle, Bat-UMG, destroyed by Russian FPV drones are seen in the distance in the first video of Ukrainian formations. Images from the side of the Ukrainian soldiers. The Russian army strikes back after the Easter truce. As dawn broke on April 21st, Russian troops began a massive use of Garin-2 attack UAVs against key Ukrainian facilities. Archival footage of the destruction of a Ukrainian nationalist mortar unit in the Kharkiv region by the 41st Motorized Rifle Regiment of the 44th Army Corps. The mortar section received a response that it could not survive. Russian soldiers exchanged fire with Ukrainian soldiers.
А? Ранен, что ли? Ранен? Ты ранен, eh?
The Russian fighter got very lucky. The Ukrainian FPV drone did not work after the impact, which was lucky for the soldier. Russian soldiers destroyed an armored vehicle of Ukrainian soldiers with the help of a FPV drone. Russian army scouts and drone operators tracked down Ukrainian soldiers, kamikaze drone operators, and hit their positions with drops. That's all, dear friends. Subscribe to the channel, put likes, and don't forget to click on the bell to not miss new episodes. Leave your comments. Your opinion is very important to us. See you soon.